This is Chef Cal, and you're listening to the Double Up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. We are finally here. The Double Up podcast is here. We got Chef Cal in the building today. How's it going, my brother?
What's up?
How's
Happy to be here tonight.
Yeah, and I see you got your team with you. You want to introduce who you got with you today?
It's all about the team, man. I got my right hand man, manager Cam O'Neal. Does everything from bookings to help with promotions, clients, dates, calendars. Got Andrea, creative person, just good vibes. Always got good ideas, positive energy.
Right. And the team is important, man. Like I tell my boys all the time, like having a team can turn a 5-year process into like a 1-year process or a 2-year process. Because there's a lot of times we try to do everything ourselves. We try to, be the photographer, the editor, the chef, the everything at the same time. And it's just, you just got to outsource it.
You can't do it all by yourself.
Not at all, my G. So the first thing I want to get into is something that's really like important is just turning your craft into a business. Because like a lot of times, a lot of people start a craft and it just stays a craft. It never stays a business. Some people, they do things, they cook. Some people cook all the time, but, they don't make no money from cooking. Or some people, they like to take pictures with their family and stuff, and they don't make no money from it. Or some people, they want to make money from it, but they really don't know how to get into it. So, like, for me, one of the main things I did was I was, like, really into YouTube, right? I was really, really, really into YouTube, and I was watching a whole bunch of guys on YouTube. And I seen this one guy, he started vlogging and stuff. And then I started to realize, like, okay, I might want to start a vlog myself and I think I'm pretty interesting. And then I grabbed the camera. After I grabbed the camera, some big swole dude see me with a camera. He was like, yo, you do videography? I'm like, I'm not going to lie, I'm not.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I do videography.
I'm wrong with it.
And then after that, he was like, all right, cool. Meet me at this park over here. Let's shoot a video. I'm like, all right, bet. He was like, how much you going to charge me? That's to my first start. I was like, yo, give me $100. He's like, all right, cool. So he shot me $100. I'm at home. I'm like, all right, cool. I got my first gig or whatever. But I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I never did this before.
Right.
So one thing I want to get into is turning your craft into an actual business and actually getting paid from it in a sense of cooking and things like that.
Yeah, man. So like, some of my first memories when I was a real little kid, right? This is my first ever like business experience, and I failed miserably. But I had this idea of grabbing all my old toys and putting them in brown paper bags.
Right.
And then I remember me and my friend came over, and we was like kind of putting like a price on the bag, right? Now these bags never left the apartment, but I was starting to see how you can have something you don't want no more and sell it. So let's fast forward. Then I got to high school. When I was in about the 10th grade, I remember my dad took me to Costco for the first time. I'm in this big warehouse, and I'm seeing like you can get 50 Snickers for $4. You can get a bag of potato chips, like 46 different flavors for $5, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I got $20. Let me see what I can buy. Boom, boom, boom. So I get some Snickers, I get some sodas, some chips. I load them up in the gym bag, and I go to school the next day. So I'm selling chips, sodas to the teachers, the janitors, the students, everybody. First beer, I'm like, yo, I got snacks. Oh, Honey Buns. Shout out to Honey Buns. I was making a killing off the Honey Buns. We heat them up. So anyway, time goes on. I'm making $30 a day, 5 days a week. That's $150 a week as a high school student. I was killing it, right? So time goes on. 2 weeks later, I had a fat principal named Mr. Eccles. He catches me in the hallway and, hey, Calvin, I heard you're selling snacks and you can't doing that because we got vending machines here.
Shout out to the fat people for always being our best customers.
Shout out. I'm a big boy, too. He suspends me for 3 days. My parents come to school. Both parents are entrepreneurs. They're like, how dare you suspend our son for being an entrepreneur, figuring out how to make money while he's going to school and still like just doing what I was doing. So that was like really the first time I realized I can buy a product and then sell it and make a profit. And ever since then, it just kind of took off.
By storm, man. That's crazy. And a lot of people don't have that, like that mindset, that mindset of, all right, I'm doing this for fun, but how can I make money from this? Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, even for instance, social media. Social media right now, I heard someone say, like, if you're using social media for fun and you're not using it for a business, you're just wasting your time, honestly.
Facts.
Because, like, there's just so much money out there. You feel me? There's crazy money out there.
Absolutely.
And also, like, one thing I did today, I was actually, like, at home, and 2019, I didn't write a single note down. Like,
hold on. We gotta rewind, because Cam's story and, like, how we met and what he's doing now is crazy.
What's up, Cam?
So
thank you.
I used to love and I still love like going on yachts, hanging out with a bunch of girls and just good music, good food, good drinks.
Yeah.
And I used to rent this yacht from this dude named George. and we'd go out there. I was doing it like probably every other weekend. It was crazy. So I'd invite Cam a couple times. I think I invited Dre a couple times. And then Cam comes on the boat. And, we're having a good time. Fast forward like a year later, Cam calls and says, yo, Cal, I'm about to buy that yacht we charter. I'm like, what you mean about buy the yacht?
All in.
And
Light change.
Today, he literally owns a yacht I used to party on.
Facts.
And he charges me to go party on it.
Don't pay George no more. Pay me, player.
So, Cam, break down the story. Like, break down in depth what Chef Cal is
First and
talking about.
foremost, hello everyone. My name is I am Cam O'Neal. It's IG plug. Bow. So pretty much what we're talking about. And actually, the crazy thing is, Chef Cal does not know this, but I'm gonna let him know. So the one time he invited me on a yacht was like the second time I've ever been on a yacht.
Just capitalize on the situation.
It was like the second time, and he invited me out. He doesn't really like to take me out places because I don't know how to act.
You here tonight? Please behave. Please behave.
So he took me out on the yacht. He's like, "Yo, come on the boat. Da 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 da. Meet me at my house. Be on time." I probably was late that day too, but I learned over time to always be on time with personal chef Cal. He's a good guy.
Right.
So he invited me out on the boat. I had on a New York Yankees hat. I still got the picture. We sat on the back of the boat. Had my tank top on. We took a photo, and yeah, he used to rent the yacht from this guy. I'm not gonna say his name. But
Shout out to George.
He's a good guy. He was a good guy. So yeah, he rent the boat from him, and then I pretty much from my experience, I was an entrepreneur and still am an entrepreneur. Just from lawn services to clothing lines and just anything that I love, I turned it into a business, and I do it to a really high degree. I put everything in it. So from this moment, I started working with George. He showed me everything about running and driving the boat and all this crazy stuff. And I learned how to drive this yacht by just pretty much watching and taking over the steering and all that stuff. Right. And then George told me one day, he's like, I'm thinking about selling my boat. I was like, really? He told me the number, which a little bit of a discount from everybody else. Mind you, I'm very humble. So in that position, hit me, por favor. So in that position, he offered me a really small salary, and BG, it was like $20 an hour. But my concept was to come sit down on a yacht for $20 an hour. I mean, I was already working for myself and making a ton of bread, doing what I do. I do business credit repair, lending and stuff like that. Right. So I was like, yeah, I could do that. That's good. I'm learning. So I equated to that. Fast forward, when he told me he wanted to sell the yacht, I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going to come by tomorrow. And we went on a trip, and I brought $10,000, and I said, here, it's your last day on this boat. And I gave him $10,000 cash right there. And he was like, that's real. Went through it, and I said, I'm going to come by the house tomorrow, and I'm going to bring you the rest of the money.
Boss moves.
Wow.
Went to the house, sat down with him and his wife, went over everything about the boat, gave him the other 10.5 right there, and kept it moving. And from there, it's just been the Yacht Guys is my company. On Instagram, it's the Yacht Guys website, and that's the Yacht Guys with the Z. So yeah, went from there. Went from being a worker to the boss.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. And I'm glad
Cash
you brought
out,
that.
no payments.
I'm glad that you brought that out, because one thing I feel like we should talk about is just relationships, building relationships.
Yes.
Because you really can't make it all on your own. I mean, you can try. I mean, but it's a real small percentage on how you're gonna make it. So, what are some tips on building connections, and not only building them but maintaining them? Because you can build a connection today and it'll just naturally just fall off. I mean, I see it happen all the time. So.
Cal's really good at building connections and keeping them. Hit it off. I'll segue.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I put relationships before my business. It might sound crazy, but I'm in a people's business, personal chef. So I care about the people more than I care about the money. And sometimes I do things that you might think is crazy. Legit, I had some clients this weekend from Canada. Shout out to the Zingers, right? They got this brand new mega yacht. I cooked for them like a couple times. And they just been so good to me. And this weekend just treating me so good, treating my team good. They're offering us drinks. They're offering us food. At the end of the day, I said, come up top. Come hang out with us. And it's just like they showed so much love. I told my team, I said, yo, we're waking up early tomorrow, 7 a.m., and cooking them breakfast. And I said, all y'all getting paid. I'm not getting paid. But I want to do that because how good they treat us. Now, I don't do that often. And don't think if I come to your house and I do a party, I'm gonna give you a breakfast the next day. But nah, just for real, it's like
You got to be a gold card member.
yeah, like these people really bring
That's
me in. I'm going to
50,000
gold
spent
client
per year.
birthdays. You know, they're inviting me to NBA games on the floor. So even like Cam, we've been friends for years, and we go on and off. It's times I block him. It's time he blocks me. A couple weeks ago,
It's
oh man, it got physical. You know what I'm saying? We was throwing hands, choking each other out.
But we brought it back to the earth, though.
That's
brought
it. We
back
called
to
each
the
other
earth.
next day, like, you know what?
It was actually that
I'm
night
sorry.
we called each other. We was like, yo, what do you want? What do you want? Let's just get this money and stop arguing. I was like, all right, whatever, bro.
Even Andrea, known her for years, and it's always about communication, checking up on people, making sure they're good.
Always.
Yeah.
I value relationships as well a lot because, you know, relationships, you never know where it can lead to. You know, I know a lot of guys who was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it on my own. I don't need anybody. I got this. I can put the whole business on my back. And you know, you're in it for 2 years, 3 years, you're in the same spot, and you see a guy who started after you, and he's ahead of you. You know what I mean? And like for me, one of my goals was always to write stuff down. Always write stuff down. And one thing I seen when I was writing my stuff down, I wrote my goals down, and I looked at my goals, and I was like, you know, if fear didn't exist, right? If there was no such thing as fear on this earth, would my goals be the same? Because, you know, we kind of like look at fear and be like, oh, no, I'm not going to put that on my list. That's too big. Let me take that off.
You know, the acronym for fear is typically false evidence appearing real. You know, when you write things down, you know, I'm a big believer of the laws of attraction. What you put in the atmosphere comes to reality.
Right.
You know, you write it down, it's right there for you. So, you know, when it goes back to this yacht store, I actually took a picture. And if you're on my Instagram, you can scroll down there and you can see like May of 2019. I said, she'll be mine soon. This was before the conversation of knowing like really that I was about to go in my pocket between me and my business partner and pull out this cash and hand it over. And then a month later, it's a matter of us on the back of the yacht, the new owners. Right. But that's just one of the stories that we have. When you have faith and you believe in the laws of attraction and positivity, what you speak into the atmosphere comes to reality. Amen. So, you know, we're constant humans of saying things, and you got to be a believer just as well as you are a person of saying things. You got to believe what you're saying. Because if no one believes in your dream and your vision, and you don't believe in your dream and your vision, then, you know, why should you expect anybody to buy into it?
It's not going to happen.
You see when I hang around?
I see
This is the energy I keep.
And that's the vibes you need. Like, you need this type of vibe. Like, your circle has to be motivational. Your circle
we got
has
some
to be
stories.
I need
We wake
them.
up in the morning, we call, have hour-long conversations and be like, yo, yesterday was dope. Do you realize what happened and how the world worked for us? You know, it's just real. Like, for real.
Damn, don't tell him too much.
I can't give us everything.
We're going to get there. We're going to get
We
there.
know.
We're going to get to the story.
We know what sage will do. Real sage. We know what happens when you
Get rid of them evil spirits real quick. 0 to 100.
Right. And stay, like, good vibes. Like, I can't tell you, especially in Miami is toxic, man. Miami is a toxic.
It depends on how
place.
you look at it. It depends on what you consider to be toxic. And see, what's going to happen is here, every negative you throw, I'm going to give you a positive, right? Because it just depends on what you choose to see.
Yeah.
Right? So my Instagram, if I start seeing foolishness and nonsense, that's my option, whether I'm a follow or unfollow.
Exactly,
So I choose to continue to follow only what I'm focused on. And you know how Instagram reminds you of everything that you double tap. So there's mega yachts, there's so many big, amazing, extravagant things because that's what my vision is.
Yeah. And like, even for me, like, who you follow is so big. It's really, really big. Like, if everybody who I follow, you got to be making me better in any certain way for me to be following you. Like, I'm not going to follow some guy who's just, you know, doing foolishness. And then when I look at his page, I'm like, man, it's messing with my mind. Like, I just refuse to do it, man. I just can't do it. So, like, and I was listening to Nip, and he said something, and I want to get into losses, too, because he was saying, like, what is a loss without a lesson?
Facts.
What is a loss without a lesson? So if you take a loss and you don't learn anything from it, it's like you here for free. Like, you out here for fun. You just out here just playing. Like, you don't want it for real.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm gonna be transparent on this episode. This is our second time shooting this episode.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna be transparent. This is our second time shooting this episode, and the reason why is because I took a loss. Like, one of my camera angles were not how it's supposed to be, and I realized it halfway through the whole entire shoot. So then the whole entire time we're shooting the episode, Kyle's he's killing it with his responses and all that. And I'm just sitting, I'm looking at it in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, he just don't know like this stuff. It's not how it is. But you know what I also said? I said, you know what? This is my show. I'm not gonna settle. So what I did is I called Cal the next day. I said, hey man, listen, bro, it's not coming out how I wanted to do it. We gotta reshoot it. I explained it to him. I came to him straightforward. I was like, hey man, listen, I'm not gonna cut no corners on this. I'm not gonna settle. I'm coming straight up to you.
Only the best.
Only the best. I came to him because you can't waste people's time out here. Everyone is like a business now. Everyone is a business. And going back to relationships, let's just say, for instance, I would have went to Cal and I would be like, yeah, everything's good, bro. Everything's good. And everything is not really good. The first thing that comes like, man, I'm not gonna lie, I can't do business with this guy anymore.
That's
man.
it. No, I appreciate you making me come back out. I only want the best.
Always. You can't waste anyone's time out here, you know? So we want to get into the chef aspect, Kyle.
Yes,
the chef aspect. So you started cooking when you were 5 years old.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Break down the story for
Eggs?
us, bro.
It was. Damn, was you there? Nah, so basically the story's like this. I lived in Atlanta with my parents, and I went to, I woke up, went to my mom's room, was like, Mom, I'm hungry. Can you make me some eggs and breakfast? And she was like, Cal, I'm on the phone. I'm going to get out there in a minute, all right? So I just went into the kitchen. I started doing, what I thought I should do to cook. I didn't know really what I was doing. And then my mom basically said she was in the room on the phone. She started smelling like toast. She started smelling eggs and stuff. So it was back in the 90s when you had the cordless phone. The cord phone. So she had to put the phone down, and then she walked to the kitchen. But she said she didn't come in there fully aggressive. She kind of just peeked. And when she peeked at her on the corner, I was in my little whitey tighties and little t-shirt. Had a big afro back then. She said she just saw me standing on a chair with the spatula, whisking around some eggs.
Whipping it.
And she said she didn't want to yell at me to make me feel bad. She said she just watched to make sure I didn't burn myself, to make sure I cut off the stove, to make sure I put stuff away. And she said she watched the whole time. She almost cried because I cooked the eggs, I put them on the plate, I put the sink. Everything she did, I emulated. I put the dish in the sink. I shut off the stove, and I sat down. I took my plate to the table, little whitey tighty. I ate my little breakfast, and she was like, at that point, I knew eventually you were going to be a chef.
Yeah. And from that point on, in your mind, after you cooked that meal, were you like, I want to do this forever?
Nah, bro, I was just hungry. I never knew. And she didn't tell me that till I was an adult. But I worked many jobs. My dad had a moving company. I worked with him, and I hated it. I love you, Dad, but I hated working with him. I've been a human resources for lawyers. I was hiring lawyers. Yeah. I've done a lot of jobs. I worked at Marriott. I was a manager. I worked as a server. I worked in a lot of restaurants, hotels. I've washed cars. I did my own lawn service company. I've literally tried so many things, but this is something I do, and I love it. I tell my clients, they're like, oh, you work so much. And I said, honestly, when I'm at your house and we're having tequila and we're having fun and we're eating and we're drinking, I don't feel like I'm at work. So thank you for having me.
And that's the thing. Here on the Double Up, we do not discriminate 9 to 5s. I don't discriminate jobs. We will never discriminate jobs on here. And the only reason why is because jobs teach you so much. Mm-hmm. I worked at Nordstrom, and one thing, everybody who I worked with at Nordstrom, I appreciate all you guys. You guys taught me so much. And one of the things that I learned from Nordstrom is how to talk to people that you never met before.
I thought you were going to say how to pop off the tags. I'm playing. You said double up.
And plus, I learned how to sell from there. So I learned how to sell, and I learned how to talk to people that I never met a day in my life. And I don't know, nowadays, there's this new vibe of being antisocial. No. That's the new vibe. You can be antisocial all you want. We're going to see how your bank account's going to look being antisocial. Because you're not going to make it by yourself. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So, that's one of the things that I always tell people is if you're in a job, matter of fact, I'm not even going to take credit for that. I'm going to give credit to my boy Mike. Mike, he's the one who told me that because I was in there and I was stressing. I hated the job a lot. And he was like, Mark, yo, just relax, man. Relax. You don't want to be here. Just take what you can learn from it. Right. And then whatever
Shout
you
out
learn
to Mark. Good advice. Mike.
Mike.
Good advice.
I got to have him on here one day. He got a lot of knowledge, man. But yeah, Mike, man, he just told me you may not like it here, but just learn what you can learn from here. Whatever you can learn, just take it because you'll be able to apply it out there. So Cam, you got any job experiences out there?
Absolutely.
That you hated?
I had more jobs than a little bit, my guy. And every job that I've had, I turned it into something to go under the umbrella of my company. My primary company is the Normac Group. Has been in business for 12 years. It was the first company I ever had, and it pretty much just encompasses every job that I've taken, whether it be consulting, foreclosure, whatever. I learned something and I put it under that umbrella. I'm not against jobs, but I'm all for making myself rich too.
And that transition is scary.
Facts. You got to be all in,
all in,
all in.
100.
like we were saying, Kyle, you know, like making that transition from, you know, Chef Kyle Sushi Saki to personal Chef Kyle 24/7, right? You know, like just that transition, like
It's no joke, bro.
yeah. Like how did you manage that transition? Like that first day, the first day you woke up and you're now personal Chef Kyle. You're not Chef Kyle that's sitting behind a restaurant with a recipe coming across. It's everything is on you. What was that first day like?
You ever watch like a real scary movie to the point where like you's about to cry or scream?
Yeah.
It's that feeling times 10. Because our whole life we've been trained ever since we was in elementary school to get up early, put on our uniform, to go to school, make sure you're there before the bell rings. That's the time clock.
Right.
12 o'clock, go on lunch break, lunchroom.
Right.
To then do a little more work, then you go home, catch a school bus,
Right.
rush hour, clock out.
Right.
We've been doing that. They don't teach you to be an entrepreneur, bro. You used to getting that report card. That's your employee review. Every 2 weeks, get that paycheck. It's comfortable. It's safe because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
So if I work at Walmart and I clock in at 8 a.m., I know at 8 a.m. once I swipe that card, cha-ching, I'm getting paid. As an entrepreneur, me and Cam, we don't know if we're getting paid.
And you know what's crazy? One
And
thing
we
I
don't
also
trip.
learned. One thing I learned, you can get paid. There's two ways you can get paid in America. You can either get paid by the hour, or you can get paid by results. So now there's benefits to both sides and there's cons to both sides. You know, getting paid by the hour, the benefits are it's guaranteed. The cons are there's a cap to it because there's only so many hours that you can work in a day, and there's only so many hours that you can work in a week.
Listen, the thing is, and the key to this whole entrepreneur game is do what you love and the money will come.
That's it. And like even getting paid by when you get paid by the results, the con is it's not guaranteed. But the pro is the cap is endless. Like no matter how, like no matter what you do. Like for instance, you can make clothes. If you're making clothes and if you build that brand to the point where people see the value in it to pay $1,000 for a t-shirt, it's gonna happen. And that's how you get paid by the results. There's no limit to anything in entrepreneurship, and that's why I got into it. That's why.
Control your own destiny.
That's it, 100%. So another thing is getting in that luxury space, Kyle. Because, you know, there's a lot of chefs out here, but not all chefs are in a luxury space. So how did you maneuver your way into that luxury space to the point where I'm like, you know what, right now, you know, I'm just serving, you know, people, but I want to level up, I want to double up, I want to go into that luxury space.
It's deep, man. It goes back, I say probably when I was working at Makoto. Shout out to Makoto about Harbor Mall. But if you haven't been there, it's a mall like no other. It's like probably the most luxurious mall in the United States. And they got stores, you know, Gucci, Prada, Balmain, Giuseppe, Balenciaga. And if you go there, a woman can buy a handbag for $40,000. Okay? You hear me? $40,000 on a handbag. Shoes, $5,000, $10,000. So I was clocking in, going to this job every day. But I'm always early, as you know. So sometimes I would literally just walk around the mall. I was going to the Goyard store, seeing luggage for $25,000. I'm seeing all this stuff. And I said, if they could do that with luggage and shoes, I know I have the skills inside of me to give somebody an experience that's luxurious and they could pay for it. So, and I felt like the chef game was missing that. Like there's restaurants, there's all these things, but there wasn't an experience that really qualified for those prices in my mind. So then I said, I got to take it a step further. I can't just walk by the window. I got to go inside and see what they're doing. So, you know, my day off, I come dressed nice. I go to the Gucci store, and I just saw the way they treat you. You know, when you go to Gucci or you go to Giuseppe and you buy something, Cam, you know, they just treat you good. What's your name? I'm Cal. Yeah. Oh, hi, Calvin. My name's Stephanie. I'm gonna be your salesperson for the day. Would you like to try anything on? Yeah. Would you like a glass of champagne? Yeah. Would you like some water? Yeah. I'm like, what? They don't do this at FUBU. They don't do this at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different lane, and I'm a big believer in like you gotta believe in yourself, and I like to learn from people. So I'm learning from them. So I'm just going to different store to store and seeing how they treat you. And I said, I gotta treat people on a different level. I don't want to just make chicken wings and French fries and rice and salmon. Like I want to create a whole experience.
Right.
That's why I go to the house. I go to the yacht. People let me up. Sometimes they're not even home. It's been times I go to these people, I never met them a day in my life. and I pull up to their condo and the front desk is like, oh, Mr. Robinson is not here today, but he said just go upstairs and he'll be back in a couple hours. He's out on his boat and they want dinner ready. I'm like, okay, you don't know me. I'm from Atlanta. A lot of people wouldn't give a person like me and my skin color a chance to go in a multi-million-dollar penthouse by myself, where I could literally walk to your bedroom. I would never do anything like that.
Of course.
And that's why people trust me. And I have a great reputation. My team has a great reputation. And we just give amazing experiences.
And I could say, like, that's probably from your customer service. You just provide such great customer service that the person, like, you know what, I trust Kyle to just be there while I'm not even there.
My secret is I treat people the way I want to be treated.
I think your trick is that you do it with love.
Facts.
And when you do things with love, like, they come out like the way you want it.
Yeah.
You know, you go to work. If you go, like, if you have a job and you just like, oh, I have to work, you know. But if you go to the job of your dream, like me is like a dentist, you know, I love everything that has to do with the teeth and stuff like that. Before going to like the restaurant or doing something, like, it's not my passion. But when you do it with love, like, you see it, like, you want to make people happy. He's cooking for them. And it's like, this is what I like. I want to make them feel the way, like, I feel when I'm cooking this, you know.
So your client list is probably long right now. You got a wide variety. So take us through one of your most memorable clients.
They're all real memorable. I'm telling you, like, every interaction I have is just so intimate. From Bob and Gina to Peter to all my Canadian clients, people who fly in from all over the country, people coming from different parts of the world. But I say one client that really stands out just because we talk so often, I say it's Rondé Hollis Jefferson from the Toronto Raptors.
Yo, I get buckets with that dude on 2K. I'm not even going to hold you.
I feel like Rondé is a version of me. He's just a millionaire. He's so nice. He's so friendly. He went to Arizona State, and they awarded him the nicest athlete to ever attend that college. Do you know what that says? You know how many people go to that school?
Yeah.
So he's just such a kind person. And, you know, I started off making meal plans for him. I remember just kind of how we kind of took it from chef to, like, more friendly. He was there and I was there. And, I like magic. So I did a magic for him. And he's like a 7-foot basketball player. I didn't think he was really going to care. And then right after that, he was like, let me do one for you. And then he did that, and then we just started laughing, goof around. Next thing I find out, he plays PlayStation, Fortnite. I play Fortnite. Then we started getting dubs. That means you got to win. So we started winning Fortnite together, and then he brought me into, like, kind of his whole circle of close homies. Shout out to Solo, Reef, Ra, the whole crew, Snapback. And then, you know, from there we went to Japan. We went to Colombia. We just traveled. And just such a shout out to Colombia. Just a really good person. I don't care about the fame. I don't care about he's in the NBA. I don't care about the money. He's just like a solid person.
And that's dope. Like, just treating, you know, it doesn't matter if the person's a celebrity or if they're an athlete or movie star, whatever they are. If you treat them as a friend and you just try to just go after that genuine relationship, that genuine connection, it'll go from just being a client to actually being a friend. True. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they come across celebrities, they get starstruck, snap, and then they try to build that connection with the person. The person's like,
you know, like, one thing at being a celebrity or someone of influence is sometimes we just want to be normal. We want to be regular. You know, listen to the recent story of J. Cole. He sold his car and he got a bike. You know, like, you miss that aspect of the stuff. Like, yeah, it's great to have all those accolades, but sometimes you just want to do regular people stuff. Like me, I go home to New York. I was there last week, and I could not wait to go to the bodega and get me a bacon and egg sandwich on a bun. Like, I got 2 of them on my way back to the airport. Like, it's just something about a New York bacon and egg sandwich from the corner store that's just phenomenal. Like, it's better than any Prime 112 meal or Houston's. It's like, yeah, this from the bodega. It's a bacon and egg sandwich on a bun. It's just fire. You just want to be normal.
So you're not on the cooking side, but you're more on the business side on the Chef Cal team.
Right. I'm known as the right hand man, the muscle, the management,
bodyguard.
booking, the bodyguard. You know, I wear whatever hat. The driver. I've been the driver before. You know.
Have you ever had you on the stove before or something like that?
No, I'm pretty good. I'm the paper plate chef at my own home. I'm a paper plate chef. You know, I do what I do for me, and when I do it, I does it. But no, I do all of his booking. I'm his booking manager. Any events that you may want to book him for, or special appearances, marketing, sponsorships, I handle all of that. You know, I allow him to stay in his creative zone and do what he does best, and I'll handle all the logistics behind the camera, behind everything else. You know, allow him to be in his creative space, and somebody else will handle everything. That's a really big really big role because he's trusting me with his business.
Right.
You know, so I really have to take heed into what I'm doing to represent him right.
That was huge.
Just like I'm an entrepreneur, he's an entrepreneur, and I'm carrying the weight of his company to continue to shine that light on his brand. You know, and that's really big when you talk about having a team. You got to have people that you trust and say, hey, listen, here's my credit card, my black card. I'm just going to let you hold it. You know, like when your bills are due, you're like, damn, I got this black card in my wallet. But I can't use it.
No, but just going back on that, that kind of shows you just how serious I take this. Like, how many personal chefs or private chefs you see out there that got a sous chef? How many chefs you know out there that got servers, just a team, web designers, and now a manager? Because what I saw was I was getting so busy on my own. I'm cooking at somebody's house trying to have an intimate time.
You could have handled somebody like...
Yeah, my phone is ringing.
Yeah.
So now I got to say, excuse me, or I'm missing the call. But I don't want to miss no call because that could be a $1,000 deal, $5,000, a $10,000 deal. So I said, you know what? I'd rather pay somebody to do that part so I can go in and solely focus on the food, on the service, and make sure my clients are getting what they pay for.
That's crazy, man. So I would imagine that your job is pretty jam-packed because it's like he's cooking every single day.
Absolutely.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Shout
and
out
he
to
still
Cam.
hasn't tried his food.
That's crazy.
Yo,
I
don't
haven't
feel
tried
bad.
his food
Don't-
because every single time he's like, no, I can't. Then you're gonna make fall in love with me. I'm like, come on, like
don't feel bad.
I need to.
But it took
I am
me
a food lover.
3 years to actually be able to get a meal from him. It took me 3 years before I was invited to a special Chef Calvin party.
All I have tried
And
is
listen,
the tequila drinks.
This is even after I've worn every hat. I've put myself, and I told you I'm a humble guy, I put myself in a position. He said, Cam, I need help here, bro. I got you. See, if you got a friend aside from somebody that you're doing business with, you got a friend and you support their business, you don't ask for a discount.
Nope.
And you're
Amen.
available when you can be available, and
Yep.
it doesn't matter the role, you know, because I am a very well taken care of entrepreneur myself.
Yeah.
When my guys say he need help, sure, give me your personal chef, Cal. I'll be
got
your
you,
hostess.
yeah.
He used to always get on me and be like, Cam, you got to smile. But it works. But, hey, if that's somebody you really support their business, their vision, it don't matter. If they ask you, if you're available, go for it because you're going to learn something.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Like, that authenticity that you guys have together, that non-jealousy that you guys got going on, is like, I heard a quote once and it was like, you really know who somebody really is when you tell them no. If you tell somebody no, you see they switch up on them, they're like, oh, I already see how you really are, you know what I mean? But that's great that you guys actually have a bond going on. You guys you're willing to put on a hat from him, and I'm pretty sure if you're like, yo, Cal, I need some help with
I'm
servicing
still
the
asking
yacht.
for that bathing suit though.
I just ordered
Oh,
it.
he
on
just ordered
Amazon.
it. Trust
Literally,
me.
it's
I
on the
peeped
way.
it. It's red. It's
on the way.
I'm not gonna lie, after seeing his IG, I'm like, I need to try Chef Cal.
Listen, the guy has a cameraman that travel with.
I
ain't
know,
never
it's
seen
like,
nothing
I'm
like that
like-
before.
And that's why I wanted him on the show, because I'm like, yo, I've seen chefs, but I've never
Yo,
seen
he
a
got
chef.
a cameraman. Listen, we did a party one day. He flew a drone through the kitchen window. I said, "Oh yeah, I've never seen anything like this."
Yo, it's
It was
like,
just amazing.
and that's why I wanted him. Like, I'm, and also, again, I'm thankful that you're the first person on the show. I appreciate you big time, dog, for being the first guy. But I've never ever seen a chef like that. It's like he's a superstar or something. You know what I mean? He comes through and he told me, he's like, yo, man, listen, you know, he said in his smooth voice, yo, I never go to go cook without a camera guy on me.
Facts, no fronting, all facts.
Not only that, but he also like motivates you a lot.
Yeah.
It definitely
Well,
teaches you
he,
some
like
things.
teach you every single time.
Yeah.
We not gassing him up because I'm the one person in his company that will tell him how I really feel, and he's nothing you can do about it.
Sometimes,
He's a good guy at heart.
sometimes he press on his
I'll tell him,
stories.
you need a no man. I'm his no man. I'm no Cal. That doesn't work.
Sometimes
No.
you press on his stories and it's like he's talking to you, like it's meant
Right.
for you. You're like, I needed this in my life. Just a word.
Yeah.
No, sometimes
Somebody
I'm
get her
like,
a fan.
fire. I was like, yes.
And like you said, you're a no man. I have a friend of mine. His name is Dion. He's the same way. So like, let's just say you come to him with a business idea. He's gonna be that person that says, all right, I want to see my boy be great, so let me just throw some objections at him to see if he really know what he's talking about.
Right.
Instead of
Around
just,
you.
yeah, because, you know, especially, you know, when you start blowing up, you got a whole lot of yes men around you.
Right.
And, you know,
His work both ways. He tells me things, I tell him things, and we put our heads together. It is an amazing feeling and pause. It is an amazing feeling to talk to somebody on the same entrepreneurial level and share dope ideas.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like accountability is so important. Like even with this podcast, I'm gonna drop a lot of name drops because I honestly believe in giving people their flowers while they're alive. You know, don't wait for someone to pass to tell them how you feel about them.
I don't
wait.
order many flowers, but shout out to him. I'm
Like-
trying to get there though.
Like I have a friend of mine, her name is Sophie. So one time I came to her, I was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna start a podcast." She got excited. She said, "Oh, you gonna start a podcast? Oh, you should have never told me that." Every time we have a conversation. So where you at with the podcast? I'm like, I'm just trying to tell you how, you know, I'm in class and I'm trying to learn this, and she's bringing up the podcast. Next time I see her, she's bringing it up. She's bringing it up. See, and for me, in 2019, I was the type of guy I was like, yo, you getting aggravated. Why you keep asking me this? And then I wouldn't want to talk to you. But in 2020, I said, you know what, Mark? Switch it up. So I used to take accountability for someone being a pest, for someone being annoying. So in 2020, I said, you know, I'm not gonna do that. So every single time she would come, ask me, I like, you know what? I did say I'm gonna do it. So now we're here, and the double up is here, and you see we got the little merch going on, little sign.
I see you looking all fresh.
You know what I'm saying. So we want to talk about staying motivated, because roadblocks come all the time, every single time. Like just staying motivated. We know you can have friends that can motivate you all the time, but there's gonna be times where you're down and you're not gonna have any friends around you. You may be calling your friend's at work, your friends sleep, and you're just feeling down, and you know all you pretty much have is yourself. So what are some tactics that you guys use when you guys are feeling down or you guys are feeling low to uplift yourself?
For me, it's like it's really a lifestyle. I try to keep positive people around me at all times. As you can see, that's probably the one of the biggest things you could do, because you're a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, if you're let's say you're a college student, right? Maybe you grew up in a bad neighborhood, but you still hang around the drug dealers from the block, the robbers from the block. It's not going to get you anywhere. Literally, I grew up in Atlanta. I came to Miami, and I had to cut a lot of people off. And what I noticed was, as I cut people off and I started hanging out with better people, my life improved. You see how it works? It's like just like energy, the law of attraction. Yeah. So I hang around Cam, I'm doing good. I'm inviting Cam on the yacht. He bought the yacht. Cam says, Cal, you should do this. I listen. All we doing is elevate. Andrea calls me in the morning and says, Chef, I hope you have a great day.
That's it.
Come on, how easy is that text? But how many people do it? You know what I'm saying? I hit her up. I hope you're having a great day. And it levels up. It levels up. So, like, your energy is very important. I can tell you, like, a very positive person, right? Oh, yeah. So I'm sure you got a good, close team around you. Yeah. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I can say to anybody listening to this podcast is, if you got those people in your life who just hating on you for no reason, I don't care if it's sometimes it's your mom, sometimes your dad, it's your auntie, that person you think is your best friend, they can be a hater. And you got to learn to see how they make you feel. Mm-hmm. And once you feel like, some people, you just get around them and you feel drained, you feel tired, you start feeling a little down, you feel sad. Like, I remember high school was like group of guys you hang out with, and we always, they would call it like cracking on each other and all that stuff. Yeah. But now I look back, all we're doing is telling each other negative things. Right. And we make it a joke. That's not a joke. It makes you feel bad about yourself. And that's not what you want. You need to be around people that lift you up.
Facts.
That way you can elevate faster.
Right.
He said something that was really dope, and I'm not going to take up too much time, but he said aunt, right? So I have this thing, like my aunt, she, one of my aunt Kathy, she was a worker, you know, and she made a lot of money doing her job. And I spent the last couple years telling my aunt how much I didn't want to, you know, work for anybody else. And when I went to see my aunt last week, the first thing she said to me, you know, first of all, I had this, it was a dope setup anyway, because I had a little deal with Hertz, and they put me in this Range Rover Velar. Shout out to Hertz. We're going to get you on that plug too. Trust me. It's already been in the works. I've already been talking about it. But we pulled up. My aunt said this to me, and she's been the person like, oh, you need to find a job. You need to do this and get your money right. You know how black parents are.
Yeah.
Right? But the
Every
first
mom.
thing she said to me, every mom's first thing she said to me when she got in the car, she said, "So Cam, you made $1 million last year?" And like my heart kind of stopped because like a year prior when I'm explaining to my aunt how I'm quitting my job, I'm not doing this, I can't see myself working in nobody else's corporate America. But for now, her to really understand my passion, my drive, and helping people and being a creative and doing my own thing and going my own way, for her to respect that and accept it, that lets me know that I'm on the path. I got to just keep going. So I ain't making it in 2019. I might have made it in 2014, but 2020, I guarantee you I made 10. So it was just real dope that she said that. And I was like, wow, that was the best part. Aside from seeing my father, that was the best part of my whole 3 days in New York. My aunt asked me, "So Cam, you made $1 million this year yet?" I was like, wow, you finally believe in me.
Right.
So you got to have people around you that believe in you, that see your vision. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, yo, no, you're worth more than that. Don't do it.
Exactly, to push you to do better. Sometimes, like, you know, even though you believe it, but you still need that person to like lift you up. Like, come on, go for it. You got this, you know.
And that's true friendship right there. You know, that's how you know when somebody really, really cares about you. When they just want to see they want to see you do good, not so they can do good, but they just want you to do good because they just want you to do good. You know, it's not even about what you can do for me, or it's not like, okay, yo, I hope this guy make it, because if he make it, now I can, you know, try to slide my way in there and get it. It's more or less like, you're my boy.
Let's work together.
Yeah, let's work. You're my boy. I want you to be great because I want you to be great. I seen what you went through. I seen how many hours you put into this. I know how much you want this, so I genuinely want you to have it. You know what I mean? So exactly, Cam, you said you hit him. What exactly do you do exactly? Like,
my first company was a consulting company, and then after that, I launched a clothing line called TNGTs and Apparel. And pretty much that clothing line, I launched it all on Instagram, and it was launched based off of a lady I saw in a crowd at an event one day, and me and the lady now are really good friends. She has cancer, or she had cancer, and something about it just kind of stood out. So I made this. My first shirt was it said "Addicted to Instagram," and I did it in pink, in kind of like memory of her. And the wild thing was, I actually had to hunt down this lady and find out who she was, and I told her the story. So I launched a clothing line called TNGTs and Apparel. I did $1 million in sales, and basically I just launched it directly from Instagram, and I did door to door and kind of face to face with a lot of different independent stores in the malls and stuff. And I traveled around, you know, and just, hey, shook hands. Hey, listen, I own this clothing line. I want to put my shirts in your store. You know, can I get you to, you know, put an order in? And that just kind of took it to different, you know, different realms. Actually, at one point in time, I had 45 different malls across the U.S. from New York all the way down to Miami, even like Purple Carpet in Miami. Right. You know, they had my stuff in their stores. But that was all just based off of genuine, like, boom, 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 shaking hands and making it happen. But I'm pretty much, I don't want to say I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I've owned a lawn service. I do credit repair.
You're a serial entrepreneur, bro.
I accept it. I do what I like.
Yeah.
And if I like, I feel like, I realize I like helping people. And my clothing line was based off of positive affirmations and words like $1 billion mindset. There's no I in team. So like, it was just so many, it's just things to lift you up, man. Like, you know, my life always wasn't the most positive, but I knew that there was more, you know? So I did things that I enjoyed that helped bring out the good sides of everyone. And even, you know, dealing with personal chef Cal, like, he'll bring out the good in you. You know, you might be having a bad day, and like she said, you pop on the stories and you see this corny video. Well, hello there. And you just start busting out laughing. Come on, Tequila, let's go to Bell Harbor. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then you stuck watching it, and it's like so motivational because he has a story just like everyone else.
Yeah, and it's dope seeing someone take a whole different route, you know, taking a whole different route. And another thing that I like that you touched on is doing what you love.
Facts.
Doing what you love. I feel like that's like the key to happiness, because you can be doing something that you're on the clock with, and they're paying you a certain amount. You could be doing what you love, and they be paying you a little bit less. You'll probably be more happy doing what you love,
right?
Just because you're spending more time doing it. Although the change might not be that much, you know, the money may not be that much, but you'll for sure enjoy it more often. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So when did you figure out that you fell in love with cooking? That you know, like, all right, I love this. This is I enjoy this to the fullest. I got to keep doing this. I don't want to.
See all the girls that he make fall in love with.
Edit that.
Honestly, it's just like when I was hungry, and I love eating. I really love eating.
I love eating too.
So a good part of eating is you have to cook. And even this weekend when I had the clients on the Bad Influence 2 Yacht, they were like, how do you come up with these recipes? And I don't have cable. I don't watch Food Network. I don't have cookbooks. You've been to the crib. There's not a lot of cookbooks. People might give me one or two, but I don't even open them. I'm just such a fat boy at heart. I just think about what would I want to eat, and literally that's what I make. Like they'll call him, whatever. He books them. Then they get to call me after they paid the $1,000 deposit, and then they'll be like, okay, I want to do a menu. And then, all right, I usually wait till I'm hungry to talk to a client about their menu.
Wow.
That's just literally how it works.
That's
I seen you shake your head on when he said $1,000 deposit. Yes.
Yeah, I saw
Minimum
his face.
meal is $2,000. I don't care
Let
if
'em
it's
know.
2 people. It's $2,000 minimum, and you're gonna have the time of your life, guaranteed. A booking deposit just to hold your date is $1,000. That's chump change if you really want to have a good time and enjoy yourself. Imagine how much money you spent in a month of just eating out just to quench your hunger and your thirst.
for a couple minutes.
So how about you do this for $1,000 to hold your date right now, and you're gonna remember this every year.
You know,
Every
For the rest of your life.
year.
what? Here's something that just came to my mind. I know for a fact you probably somebody came to you and be like, hey, you know, I want you to just cook for us. Da, 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 da. And you told them you told them your price, and they're probably like, your price is too high. Have you ever got that before? Like,
Absolutely, all the time.
and like, how do you maneuver around that? How do you let them know, like, hey, you're gonna get the value in it?
Well, listen, I can tell you what you're gonna get, and if it's something that you want, you're gonna pay for it. And if not, I'm just giving you the short version. If it's something that you want, you're gonna get an experience that's like no other. It's not like going to Houston's and picking something off of a menu that you're gonna get. That's gonna be like everything else. And Houston's one of our favorite restaurants.
Right.
But this is an experience. This is something that not only you're gonna remember, other people are gonna remember.
I look at it like this. I'm not for everybody.
True.
McDonald's, Subway, Chick-fil-A, KFC, that's for everybody. That's a Toyota Camry, and it's a great car.
Right.
I view myself as a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce.
As we all should.
That's different. That takes months and months, sometimes years to make. What you're getting from me is years of experience. It's an energy. It's good food. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
You literally can't get Chef Cal anywhere else except Chef Cal.
Yeah.
When I'm dead, there
No.
will be no more.
There's no other Chef Kyle.
No.
For real, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I know the business I've created, once I'm gone, it can't be duplicated.
So let me ask you this, just to give you an example of how different his experiences are. Yeah. When you think of a personal chef coming into your luxurious multi-million-dollar home cooking for you, what do you think they're going to do?
Me personally, I think they're just going to be a yes man. So basically, if you tell them, hey, listen, I want steak with white rice and asparagus, you're going to get there and they're going to give you steak, white rice, and asparagus.
And they're going to go right back
to
in the kitchen, put their arm behind their back, and wait for you to say, more water, right?
Yeah. And
you're not going to get that with personal Chef Cal. He's going to come out here and make you smile. He's going to come out here and make your grandmother get up out her seat and want to dance with this young, handsome fella here, okay? He's going to make you smile. He's going to make you grab your phone and be like, I got to see what he's about to do next.
Right.
It is an experience-based situation. We want to bring something to you that you're not going to experience anywhere else outside of Miami unless you fly him out. And yes, he is available to be flown out. He will get flued out.
You're going to get flued out?
He will get flued out.
Listen,
so
it's to the point now, like, literally, I'm buying safes off Amazon. I'm taking people's favorite dish, putting them in a safe with a 4-digit code, and they got to crack the code to eat.
Told you.
And I'm laughing the whole time. Like, the code is something you should know, but who could do that? Literally, we had a party 2 days ago. I'm in the kitchen, and, I got food around me. I got chicken, I got lamb, I got shrimp, I got lobster. And one of the guests grabbed a piece of lobster and put it in his mouth. And I said, hey, you, come here. I said, give me your hand, give me your hand, give me your hand. Let me show you that. Give me your hand. I said, don't touch my food, bro. Don't. Who's doing? It's on another level.
Yeah, it's almost like an attraction, like an escape, not an escape room, but So how do you plan what you're gonna do? Do you like have a conversation with them, see what they like, or it's like whatever comes to your mind?
No, he said
There's
he
no
waits
plan.
till he's
Do
hungry.
what you love.
I don't watch Food Network. I don't care what they like.
Right.
They come to me. I'm not.
You're
I've
the
never
chef.
paid for a
Yeah.
commercial. I've never paid for a magazine. I've never paid for a newspaper. People are coming and they're calling Cam. I have a full-time booking manager because what I do is unique. Yeah. So when you say, how do I figure out what I do? I might just go to a random store. I might go to Home Depot and just walk around until I find something that said, I want that. I might go to one of these home stores and just see something to say. I might just be looking on Amazon. I don't look at things the way normal people look at things. Yeah. Like I told you, we just bought a safe. I just bought a jewelry box and I'm putting food in it. Like I'm really thinking outside the box.
He did like the last couple months. He has a live ceviche bowl like with real goldfish. Oh my God, I can't even explain it. It's
real
just amazing.
Fish swimming above raw fish. I know it sounds messed up, and I don't abuse it. I love animals. Shout out to Chef Angelo because all those fish his kids have at his house. But literally,
we take them home.
I was at the pet store buying food for my bird, and I saw the most beautiful fish, and I was like, "Wow, that thing's beautiful. How could I use that? Not as food, but as a presentation. How can I incorporate that into a dish? Also, take care of the fish and make sure it has a home." So it's like little things like that. I really don't plan it out. That's why I don't watch Food Network. I don't want my mind to be full of other chefs' ideas. And Cam knows because Cam be sending me like all these other chef things on Instagram. He thinks I get mad and I always have a negative like stop sending me that.
I unfollowed people for words.
Yeah, I don't want to see what anybody else is doing. Straight up. I go to restaurants that I like and I do what I like. And
you know what I do when we go to restaurants? I give him the menu. I'm like, you order, this is your job. Surprise me. Show me what you got. And every single time, I'm just like, voila.
So what I got from what you just said is be your own, stay true to yourself, stay committed to yourself, create your own ideas, because if you stay true to yourself, create your own ideas, it'll separate you from everybody else, just as your business has from everybody else.
100%. And you got to believe in it. You got to believe in yourself. It's gonna be haters. Trust me. I got a lot of them. Cam got a lot. Andrea got a lot. You can't listen to them. And my mom always said, even if they talking bad about you, Kyle, they still talking about you. So you're doing something right.
Yes.
Chef Kyle, my brother, appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, Cam.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Appreciate Andrea. I really appreciate. Thank you guys for listening to the Double Up. Stay tuned for who we got next.
Double up.
Double up.
So